guys, welcome to my channel. Today we will discuss authorization control in RESTful application programming. First of all, what is authorization control? So authorization control in RESTful application programming model protects business objects from unauthorized access. Okay, so only authorized user will be able to access the business objects. Authorization checks are required whenever permission to execute an operation depends on role of the business object consumer. Okay, so if we want to execute any operation like create, update, delete, so for that purpose a user need proper authorization. Alright, without that the user will not be able to execute the operations or CRUD operations. In RAP, every read or modify request can be validated against authorization rules before the request is executed and reaches the underlying data. Okay, so before data save we will perform the authorization. Okay, so there are two types of authorization checks in RAP: read request or modify request. Read request authorization can be triggered from CDS entities, and modify authorization checks are implemented in the behavior implementation layer of our business object. Okay, so we have two types of authorization. First is global authorization and the second one is instance authorization. Okay, so first of all, what is global authorization? Global authorization is used when authorization decision depends only on the current user and their assigned roles. Okay, so based on assigned roles of a user, we need to perform the operations in the case of global authorization. So what are the key characteristics for global authorization? It is applicable to both static operation or instance bound operations. It does not depend on the state or data of a specific business object. So it is not related to a business object. It's kind of a global authorization on the CDS entities. The authorization result is the same for all instances of an entity for a given user. Okay, so if we have multiple instances of an entity, so all of those, this global authorization will be applicable. Alright, now our second authorization is instance authorization. Instance authorization is used when authorization decision depend not only on the user's role but also on the state or attributes of a specific business object instance. Okay, so role is fine, but here in instance authorization we can also validate it based on the what is the state of our business object. It's accepted, rejected, or based on a single entries we can validate the data. So what are the key characteristics? Applicable only to instance based operation. Evaluate authorization at individual record level. Typically used when business rule vary from one instance to another. Okay, so if we have different logic for multiple entries, in that case the instance authorization is useful. Operation that require instance authorizations are create or static actions. So now let's discuss the use case of authorization. Alright, consider a travel management application where user can edit the travel request. So this similar application we are creating as part of our RAP videos on this YouTube channel. Okay, so if a user attempts to edit a travel request and the travel request status is cancelled, an additional authorization check must be performed to determine whether the user has the manager role. Only managers are allowed to modify the cancelled travel request. So here we have this scenario. So if we cancel our travel request, okay, so if the status is cancelled or rejected for our travel request, so in that case, we need the authorization that only managers can edit the cancelled line, and for other user it should not be allowed. So this whole thing is based on a single line. Therefore, we need instance based authorization for this requirement. So yeah, without wasting much time, let's get started. First of all, we need to add the authorization in our behavior definition, which is this one, ZHASA travel. Okay, so as part of this video, we are covering the instance authorization. As you can see, authorization statement is already there, which is authorization master instance. Okay, so this step is completed. Next, we need to implement the instance authorization in our behavior implementation. Let's do that. So if you see, we have this method get instance authorization. Okay, so we need to do implementation for this one. So here we have the implementation for the method. Let's add the logic to handle the instance specific authorization. Let's do the data declaration first. Data declaration, data. Let's define the structure result, ls result, like line of result. First of all, we need to get the data for our instance. Okay, so the instance for which we will do the authorization, we need to get that data first. Get instance data. So we will utilize the EML for that. Read entities of ZHASA travel business object in local mode entity travel, and which are the fields we are reading here? Travel ID and overall status. Okay, so the status field is required as well, because based on this only we will implement the authorization logic with corresponding keys, result, data, LT travel, field, data, ls field. So these are the structure which will hold the result and field entries. Then what we need to do, we will loop over our this instance data and implement the authorization logic. Loop at LT travel into data, ls travel, and loop. First of all, let's check if our instance data have the status cancelled status. So if ls travel and overall status equal to X, okay, that means it's a cancelled or rejected status. In that case, we will set the authorization as false. So this is our variable which we are declaring lvauth, and we will set it as ABAP false. Alright, else lvauth equal to ABAP true. Okay. So the status is not cancelled or open. Okay, so if status is cancelled, in that case we will not allow the edit. Alright, and if status is open or not cancelled, then it will be true. If status is cancelled, then we will not allow the edit of entries, and if it is open or not cancelled, then we can edit the entry. Alright, on top of this, we can also add the authorization based on authorization object. Let's just write a code for that, but we will not able to test it as we don't have SAP GUI for this instance. Authorization. Authority check object ZAUTH ID. So whatever field we have, so in that case we have the overall status 1 field overall status. If psi sub RC equal to 0 and if then LVO equal to bad. Alright, so this authorization we can assign to our manager role. Okay, so this authorization we can assign to our manager user, and if with this logic we come to the conclusion that the current user has this role assigned, that means it's a manager, then we will allow the editing. But yeah, it's not possible to test this. Let's comment it out and save and activate. Let's give a test run to our authorization logic. Let's go to service binding and open Fiori Element app. Click on go. Let's try to add some rejected record. Oh, there is no rejected. Yeah. So let's select the overall status rejected one. Click on go. There is nothing rejected. So let's just edit this one and change the overall status as rejected. Click on save. Now go back. Okay, so now we have one rejected line. Let's try to edit this one. Let's open this one and okay, so we have edit option here. Let's put a breakpoint on our. Let's put a breakpoint here. First of all, let's check if anything. Okay, everything is activated. Okay, we have one breakpoint here and also. Alright. Switch. Okay, now our breakpoint is triggering and let's. So what we have in LT travel now? So we have 20 entries. Alright. So if this overall status is X, in that case we will set the authorization as false. So let's check. So going here. Alright. Let's execute. Okay, now let's see what we have in the LT travel. Okay, we have only the single entry on which the one we have selected and its overall status is X. Okay, let's see. Oh, we missed to send the ls result. Okay, let's just close this one and let's go to our service binding. Get instance authorization, and now we need to set the ls result equal to value hash. So here we need to set travel ID equal to whatever we have in the ls travel. ls travel ID. Also update condition we need to change here. Percentage update equal to condition hash when lv auth equal to ABAP false, ABAP false, then if ABAP behavior equal to auth, and it will be unauthorized. Okay, if the authorization is false, then we will set the behavior as unauthorized, else we will set it as allowed. Okay, and also we will set the copy travel action similar way. Copy travel condition when LV auth equal to false, then it will be unauthorized, else the editing will be allowed. Okay, so here we have set the result structure based on our authorization variable value. Now what we need to do, we need to send it back to our RAP application. Return the result to RAP application. Then what we will do, we will append ls result to result structure. Alright, save and activate. Let's run our application. Click on go. Let's select the rejected or cancelled entries because we are testing this authorization for the cancelled entry. So if the status is rejected, then edit should not be possible. So edit button should not be visible. Okay, it should be allowed only for the open case. Alright, so let's double click. So as you can see here, we don't have the edit button, which is correct as per our logic. So we cannot edit the rejected entries. Okay, so if I set it as ABAP true, for example, let's see what will happen. Save and activate. Okay, let's run our application. Click on go. Double click on rejected line, and yeah, as you can see, edit is available again. Alright, so our testing is successful. We can apply the instance based authorization based on overall status. So yeah, that's it for this video. We will continue further in our upcoming videos. Till then, bye bye, thank you. Please like, share and subscribe this channel for more RAP related content. Thank you. Bye bye.